For the past few months, I've been working on this side project with my good friend Greg Lee that essentially provides a local company, Good Mood Kombucha, a way of seeing the account health and the product health and the sales of all of their distribution channels. So Good Mood Kombucha is growing pretty fast. They are local to New York, and currently they're sold across 8 different distribution channels like Airgood, Shopify. All of these different distribution channels have different ways of reporting their sales data. And for a small company, it is a lot to handle, especially with a very small team. So what we did here is we provided a unified dashboard that essentially integrates all of the different pipelines, and it gives them a way of looking at the product health per SKU. It gives them a way of looking at the rep leaderboard to see which reps are doing well, which accounts need a little bit more help, etc. We decided that at the moment, the best tech stack for this would be to host the application on Google App Engine. And we currently have 2 different databases running for different purposes. We have Google BigQuery, which handles most of the analytics data and anything that's heavy lifting. And then we also have Firestore, for example, the task management and also any kind of user settings. FastAPI is the Python backend that will essentially take any request from the front end and then make those queries back to the appropriate databases. And then on the UI, we have Chart.js, which allows us to have all of the pretty graphs and the dashboards. So it all starts with different sources of information. For the most part, most of these ingestion scripts follow the same process of 4 steps: authorization, fetching, flattening, and then landing in BigQuery, so that all of the information that's coming from these orders are actually landing in the database in the exact format. Using Cloud Scheduler, we time how often we want to actually run this scripts. A big part of the architectural decision was mainly in layer 4, which is a transformation. So this is actually the layer that has caused the most pain points as a developer, because it is where we're supposed to standardize all of the SKUs and the accounts and the wording that comes from all of these different sources. So essentially, we're following an ELT process where we extract the data first, save it into BigQuery, and then we try to load it back so that we can transform the data and then keep an independent raw source of data. This allows us then to run the transformed scripts that lives in our services, and that way we can or maybe debug if that's needed. I have implemented a lot of tests that should cover a ton of these edge cases. The testing pyramid, so having a good variety of unit tests, also having a lot of integration tests and some end-to-end tests, but there's definitely some edge cases that a lot of times we can't cover, or even there's limitations in the code that are not allowing us to clean the data correctly. So once the data is cleaned up and it's stored in BigQuery, FastAPI, then to go ahead and send that data back to the UI, and it serves as a middleman where it's sending the requests and the responses back from the database and the UI. Hope you love this, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.